welcome to Chartbusters. We're coming to you live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studio. I'm Nigel, with me is Mangalam. It's a bit of a quiet start for the Nifty itself. Quiet is not too bad. Nifty holding more or less flattish with a negative bias. We're waiting for a verdict in terms of the IEX order. For the time being, the stock has seen a sharp decline, but we're waiting for further clarity on that front. The good news, Mangalam, mid-caps in the green. Mid-cap index.
Yep, take that point, Nigel. You know, we have more mid-caps in the red, though the index is in the green. It's yo-yoing between red and green even for the frontline index, but none more than the IEX stock. This morning opened absolutely flat. Thereafter was a 6%, 7% up move that we saw from those lows and from those highs itself. Now the stock is down about 8%. So it is fairly volatile. We are trying to understand the implications of, what the hearing would be from the APTEL. Sometime very shortly is where we are expecting the verdict to come out as well. As we're keeping an eye out on individual stocks, a good time to bring in Saumil Mehta of, Mirae Asset Sharekhan for a quick technical check on the market. Saumil, the market's been consolidating. Yesterday was a weak day, yes, but at lower levels, we are finding some support now after a big gash yesterday. What is your call on the frontline index?
Good morning to everyone. In the medium-term outlook, if we talk about medium-term outlook, yes, we are still in the range between 25,700 and 26,300. So we are we are trading very close to 26,300 points up and 300 points down. So it's a range. We've seen this in the last couple of months now, and it's been the same situation. So the medium term still remains positive. In the short term, yes, we've seen some correction. We are trading below 20 and 40 daily moving average. That is a little bit of caution to look at. Now. The suggestion would be to stay in the large caps. That's what the suggestion would be, and to stay with the sectors which are positive, which are showing strength on the upside. On the downside, crucial supports around 25,700. Very crucial. If it closes below 25,700, the next level on the downside would be 25,300. So I'm not hoping that. I'll be expecting markets to take support around these levels and again start the up move for a target of 26,300 and 26,600. So these are my two targets. Positive in the medium term outlook. Short term, be a little cautious and stay in large caps.
Okay, all right. Stay in large caps, and in the medium term, you continue to hold on to that positive bias. What about individual stocks?
Two stocks have selected. One is BDL. BDL looks great to me. A small flag pattern has broken on the upside today. Good positive momentum. Stop loss would be 15.20 and target would be 16.30 for a short-term trade. Even the medium-term trade looks great to me for BDL. The second stock which I've chosen is Eternal. Eternal has broken out of an ending diagonal pattern on the upside, trading about 200 daily moving average. Great momentum today. Stop loss would be 281 and target would be 310.
All right, so that's the view on Eternal. Saumil, since we have you with us, do you have a view on Misho? Last two trading sessions, it was down, 5% lower circuit. Today it's breaking that and it's higher. It's found some support at lows after falling below the listing price of a little over 160. The stock's now, back. Do you have a view on Misho?
There's not much data on the charts, but if I have to give you a support, there'll be 164 as the support, and the next support is 152. So these are the two supports I'm looking at, and I'll be expecting a range-bound movement around 200 daily moving average, which is 173. I'll be a little positive here, to be very frank, because it has completed. It has taken support at a trend line here in the very short term. Target would be 188, 190 levels.
All right, got to ask you, since you're speaking about large caps, Asian Paints, it's been a big mover from the lows, now very close to its 52-week high. Currently, in this market as well, it's at the high point of trade. Do you like it?
Absolutely. Asian Paints, we've mentioned Asian Paints in one of our reports this month. And I think from here, the support would be 2,730, 2,700. So that will be a support, and my targets would be above 3,000 levels, 3,000, 3,100 would be my target. So absolutely positive in the short term. In the medium term, you can have a fresh entry with a stop loss around 2,700.
All right, we take that point, Saumil. Thanks a lot for that. Meanwhile, before we take that short break, as we are awaiting the details of the Aptil hearing, just look at the IEX stock. Just from a stock standpoint, it's been a big volatile move that we've seen. Currently down about 12% from the highs, down about 2.5%. It's a sharp north that we've seen. The street is awaiting the verdict on what the outlook on market coupling will be. But as we do that, let's get you some ideas for profit. Our colleagues at Money Control Pro join in. Anant Chaudhary has a stock.
So today we are once again discussing Syrma SGS Technologies Limited, a leading player in India's electronic manufacturing industry, with capabilities across PCB assembly, PCB boards, RFID, and telecom and industrial electronics. So far, the consumer segment remains the largest contributor for the company, accounting for 1/3 of the revenue. However, over the recent quarters, Syrma has steadily diversified its business, increasing exposure to industrial, automotive, and medical electronics, segments that have offer better margin stability and longer product cycles. Syrma SGS is strengthening its margin profile through focused capacity expansion. The company is investing around 800 crore in a new PCB manufacturing plant in Andhra Pradesh with a South Korean firm, Shinyap Electronics, alongside backward integration into copper-clad laminates manufacturing. With around 1 to 1.5 times asset turnover, this expansion is expected to deliver robust growth over the medium term. In addition, approvals under the electronics component manufacturing scheme for camera modules manufacturing should further improve the product mix. Despite these positives, the stock is currently down more than 15% from its recent high. The company continues to enjoy healthy order visibility, supported by strong demand across industrial, automotive, and export-led programs. At current levels, the stock trades at around 32 times on FY28 earnings, which appears reasonable given its growth visibility and improving business quality.
All right, thanks a lot for that. Well, we'll slip into a short break. Come back. We'll continue to track the IEX case, and we'll also get you the latest in terms of market action. Stay with us. Let's get back to the other piece of news that's come in. The December mutual fund data is up for you on the screen. The net equity inflow is more or less stable on a month-to-month basis at around the 28,000 crores or thereabouts. The previous month, it was at around 29,000 crores. You have, I think, the ETF data as well that was flashing for you on the screen. If I saw that number correct, it was around 13,000 crores or thereabouts. I think net inflow is what we have got. Waiting by for further details. But, and the total AUM is holding at around 80.23 lakh crore. Anthony Heredia, the MD and CEO of Mahindra Manulife Mutual Fund, joins us on the show. Hi, Anthony. Morning, and thanks a lot for joining in. What do you make of these initial data points that are coming in there with regard to the mutual fund data?
Hello.
Yeah, hi, Anthony. Good morning. Good to see you in. We have the net equity inflow that's at around 28,000 crores. If I look at it on a month-to-month basis, the comparative numbers are around 29,000 crores approximately. What do you make of this initial data point that we have? Okay.
All right. I think we've lost that connection. We'll try and repatch that connection with Anthony. In the meanwhile, we have some more data as well, the kind of flows that have come into the large caps as well. And I think Sonal is here with us as well with all the data. Sonal, what do you make of it?
Well, it is largely stable on a month-on-month basis. This is something that you guys were talking about as well. Now, do remember the last week of December did see slowdown in activity from FIIs, from global mutual funds, and that is something which would have had an impact on the kind of flows that we saw across market caps as well. So equity funds are largely stable. Yes, there's a decline, but this is not something that anybody should worry about. Even in terms of large caps and mid caps, that's been the story, right? We have seen markets being a little volatile. We were trading with lower volumes in the last week, and that is something that has played on the numbers as well. If we talk about the NFOs as well this time, because in last few couple months, we've seen a big activity come by in NFOs as well. And that is the data to track again, because in November, we saw lower NFOs, and that is something that impacted the equity flows as well. What happens with the sectoral funds as well? Because this time around in the sectoral funds, we have seen an inflow of around 945 crore rupees. Now remember, that has been a big driver in terms of flows so far last year, but that has seen a decline on a month-on-month basis, a sharp decline, so to say, as far as the sectoral funds are concerned. Let's actually get back Anthony into the conversation. Anthony, do you believe this monthly blip that we've seen is not something to worry about? Because, as I said earlier, volumes were lower and not much participation coming in across the board.
Yeah, I don't think it's something we should read too much into. I mean, at the end of the day, I would say sentiment is kind of tepid. We're still, I think, at a market level waiting for a trigger. And I think that reflects in investor flows as well. So the more you have, the net SIP flow for the month, similar to what the eventual net flow for equities has been, you wouldn't then expect too many changes in the kind of fund choices being made, etc. That being said, at least on the ground, I can see a preference for flexi-cap, multi-cap, and clearly multi-asset funds, which is an outcome of the way gold and silver has moved. But that's the only trend I would say seems to be picking up momentum. Broadly speaking, for the next couple of months also, I don't see this number changing materially.
Sandeep Bagla, the CEO of Trust Mutual Fund, is joining us as well. Sandeep, Anthony mentioned that multi-asset allocation funds, because of the moves that we've seen across different market cycles, has been really good. If I look at multi-cap funds, they've seen an inflow of around 2,254 crore rupees. In the month gone by, we saw inflows of around 5,314 crore rupees. There's been a decline. But other than that, what is the idea as far as demand for a particular category is concerned? Sandeep, can you hear us? Okay, Anthony, what do you have to make of the dip that we have seen, and also the thematic category that had picked up a lot in last year? Do you think that is something which could see lesser interest coming in from mutual fund industry and investors?
So, to that specific point, see, I think there are two things that investors are looking at, and typically investors are impacted by near term, right? So two things that have happened in the near term are, A, obviously we've seen gold and silver prices do extremely well through 25. So that kind of the only product in the diversified space that looks at gold and silver is multi-asset. So you're seeing flows there. The second, more importantly, 25 has seen clearly a outperformance of large cap over small and mid. And so I think that is why you see the multi-cap flows dropping, because multi-cap by definition has 50% in small and mid. Flexi-cap probably gives you a better opportunity to be more large-cap biased, right? So if you aggregate the flexi and multi, I don't think the flows have changed. But the choice between the two people are making are towards flexi-cap simply because I think the sentiment towards small and mid has dropped. And that kind of translates into thematics as well, because a lot of thematic funds in the past were in sectors that typically had a lot of small and mid caps. And we're seeing that as well. I mean, frankly, we have an NFO and we kind of see that sentiment being a little lower, because if there is a theme that has a predominance of small and mid cap companies as the choice basket, you would tend to see appetite lower because that's biased by what people have seen in the near term.
All right, just hang in there. It's been a news-heavy last 15 minutes or so, even as the APTEL is, listening to the case with regards to IEX. Sandeep Bagla is with us as well. Sandeep, we'll come to you in just a moment, because our correspondent Ashmit is sending us some lines. He's saying that the APTEL has sought clarity if the CERC is withdrawing the order, on which there is no clarity from CERC on withdrawal of the coupling order. CERC lawyer is asking for more time to respond on withdrawal of the coupling order. So the stock, which had seen a big gash from the highs, now is trying to attempt a bit of a recovery. There is still no clarity on whether the CERC has gone ahead and withdrawn the order or not. The lawyer is asking for more time. Remember, if the CERC does withdraw the order, then the APTEL will say that there is no case. There would be no coupling, and that would be a positive. But we still have no clarity. The stock move tells you that the market is undecided as well. Let's go back to the new data points that came after that. That was the mutual fund data. Sandeep is with us. Sandeep, we're awaiting the SIP number. With the kind of decline that we've seen in the mid and small cap stocks, do you think this SIP number will continue to remain stable? What are the triggers that we're tracking from here on for this number?
See, the SIP number is testimony to the retail penetration of the mutual fund industry and the new investors which are joining the fray of investing. But I think 2026 has been a year of a disappointing returns from equity markets. And a lot of new investors had come with very high expectations. And that will reflect in numbers in probably in SIP also. Because from channel checks, we hear that SIP on an aggregate level is increasing, but there are few stoppages, which means that the next 2-3 months could be a challenge for the mutual fund inflows also. The new NFOs also we are seeing garnering lesser numbers, and I think the flow into thematic funds also has slowed down.
It has. And that is something which was expected considering the big surge we saw in flows coming in just from thematic funds and NFOs in the last couple of months. Sandeep and Anthony, always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining us with your insights. Just summarizing the data that we got from AMFI, there has been a slowdown in flows across the board, all the asset categories, barring multi-asset allocation funds. And that is a category that is expected to continue to do well. Assets under management, they have come down, they have slipped on a month-on-month basis. That's the same case with equity inflows. We've seen some decline across market caps, large caps, mid caps and small caps. One category which is shining again is multi-asset allocation funds. So we'll keep pouring over the data and we'll get in the SIP number as well. Most importantly, cancellations. But for now, that's a wrap, guys.
That is a wrap. You wrapped it for us. Thank you so much. For the next hour or so, there are two important data points that we'll be watching out for. One will be the SIP number and the second will be what the Aptel says about the CERC IEX case. You don't go anywhere. You stay tuned to CNBC TV 18. Trading Hour comes up next.